News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. Here's your closing bell for this Wednesday on Wall Street, where big tech was back in the pole position as traders digested some mixed economic data. More on that just ahead. They also took stock of some shifting geopolitical risks with yields falling across the globe. And we bring you the closing numbers each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 lost 24 points. NASDAQ gained 37 points. The Dow lost 465 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.13%. The 2-year yield at 3.46%. The Wall Street Journal now reporting J.P. Morgan has reached a deal to take over the Apple credit card. More on that as we get it. And we will return to markets shortly. But first, President Trump is defending the ICE officer who shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis. Homeland Security officials say the officer was acting in self-defense. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem.
It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey rejects the claim of self-defense and called for ICE agents to leave the city immediately.
To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here.
The incident sparked anger over the presence of ICE agents in Minneapolis. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz calling on residents to remain calm. President Trump says he'll move to ban institutional investors from buying single-family homes, part of a push to address housing affordability. Wisconsin Republican Congressman Brian Stile is a member of the House Financial Services Committee. He says he looks forward to seeing details of that proposal.
Evaluating it when we do, but working broadly to make sure that we are working to make housing more affordable and accessible to families in the United States.
Hear more from Brian Stile on the Bloomberg Balance of Power podcast. Shares of major defense contractors also fell after Trump posted on social media that he will not allow defense companies to issue dividends or buy back their own stock until they invest more in production and research. Trump says executive pay at defense companies should be capped at $5 million until they build what he called new and modern production plants. The United States says it seized 2 sanctioned oil tankers linked to Venezuela in back-to-back actions in the North Atlantic and the Caribbean. Bloomberg's Mike Shepard.
This would be perhaps the fourth or more seizure of a Venezuela-bound or Venezuela departing tanker by U.S. forces as a result of this blockade that the U.S. has imposed.
After briefing Senate lawmakers about the U.S. operation in Venezuela, Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth talked with reporters on Capitol Hill.
We are going to take between 30 and 50 million barrels of oil. We're going to sell it in the marketplace at market rates, not at the discounts Venezuela was getting. That money will then be handled in such a way that we will control how it is dispersed in a way that benefits the Venezuelan people, not corruption, not the regime. So we have a lot of leverage to move on the stabilization front.
Rubio says the second phase will ensure other Western companies have access to the Venezuelan oil market. The Trump administration has released updated nutrition guidelines, bringing back a revamped version of the food pyramid, urging people to eat less sugar and more protein. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Whole grains outperform refined carbohydrates. Added sugars, especially sugar-sweetened beverages, drive metabolic disease. And today our government declares war on added sugar.
The changes will impact what food is eligible for federal dollars under food stamp and school lunch programs. And we got our first look today at how the labor market ended the year. We get that from Bloomberg's Michael McKee.
ADP is out with its monthly estimate of jobs created in the month of December. 41,000, they say. Annual pay up 4.4%. The change in private employment, of course, is 41,000. They don't measure what's happening with government.
And Bloomberg's Mike McKee tells us we'll get more numbers when the Labor Department reports December jobs on Friday. A judge has delayed Nick Reiner's arraignment in the killing of his parents, Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner, after his high-profile attorney asked to be replaced by a public defender. He did not say why he wanted to leave the case. It's been more than 3 weeks since the beloved actor, director, and his wife of 36 years were found stabbed to death. The next court date is February 23rd. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.